45th President Donald Trump maintaining a strong lead over the rest of the field despite his latest indictment. The latest ABC News poll shows 51% of national Republican primary voters have Trump as their first choice, followed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis at 22%. My first guest, however, says Trump's electability is an issue. But can he move his poll numbers in the crowded field? I am very pleased to be joined by 2024 Republican presidential candidate, host of The Larry Elder Show, and author of As Goes California, My Mission to Rescue the Golden State and Save the Nation, Larry Elder. Mr. Elder, thank you so much for being with us. You launched your campaign in April. What are most Americans telling you is currently the biggest issue that will drive them to the polls next year?
Well, Tom, thank you so much for having me. Let me first say that I'm not running against Donald Trump. I'm running against Biden-Harris. I think Donald Trump did an extraordinary job as president, and if nominated and if elected, I will certainly support him and will campaign for him if asked to do so. But I think I bring some things to the table, and I'd like to put them front and center that the others are not. Most notably, Tom, is the epidemic of fatherlessness. 70% of black kids enter the world today without a father in the home, married to the mother. That's up threefold from 1965. Because of the Democrats' so-called war on poverty, we've incentivized women to marry the government, and we've incentivized men to abandon their financial and moral responsibility. And the numbers are clear. If you're raised without a dad, you're 5 times more likely to be poor and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of school, and 20 times more likely to end up in jail. I've got some ideas about what to do about that. The other thing I want to talk about is a huge, and I call it a murderous lie, Tom, that America is systemically racist. It produces what's called the Ferguson effect or the George Floyd effect, and that's a phenomenon of cops pulling back from their normal proactive policing so that there are now literally thousands of people who've been injured by criminals or who are dead who otherwise wouldn't be dead if the police were doing their normal proactive policing. I've got some ideas what to do about that as well.
Yeah,
and finally, there is a crisis in urban education. According to the National Report Card, 85% of black 8th graders can neither read or do math at grade level. 13 public high schools in Baltimore, Tom. I kid you not, 0% of the kids can do math at grade level. And yet the Democratic Party opposes school choice, which studies show can improve test scores and certainly can improve graduation rates. So those are the kinds of issues I want to put front and center. And if I can do that, I feel I've done a service to my party and to my country, more importantly.
Yeah, you know, those are very powerful words, Mr. Elder, and we've talked about a lot of those issues on this program often. And I know you say that you're not running against former President Trump, but you certainly did have some choice words there for the former president in a recent interview. You proposed these questions for GOP primary voters, quote, have you lost friends because of Donald Trump? Are you walking on eggshells at work because of Trump? Do you have strained relationships with your family and relatives because of Donald Trump? If the answer is yes, Houston, we have a problem, and that problem is called electability. Now, Mr. Elder, he's still atop of the GOP polls, you know, if he can't break through, how are you going to plan on breaking through, and why are you more electable than he is?
I also said the problem is Trump derangement syndrome. Really, it's a slam at the accusation that Donald Trump is a racist, that Donald Trump is a fascist. That's the problem. The problem is this incredible attack against this man who, in my opinion, did great things for the country on the borders, on taxes, on inflation, on gas prices, on judges, and so forth. You need an America First guy who's going to be pushing the Make America Great agenda, which I've been doing now for 40 years. I've written 1,200 columns, 30,000 hours on talk radio. You can trust me, I'm a conservative who I think a sufficient number of swing voters can vote so that we can defeat Biden-Harris in November 2024, and that's why I'm in this race.
Yeah, you know, you acknowledge that there are a growing number of swing voters in swing states who want to win in 2024, but perhaps by voting for a different candidate. Last night, former President Trump stated how he says he will be able to gain more votes among independents and suburban women. Listen to this.
They were saying, do you think Trump can win independents? Well, we're winning independents in some places by 25 points. Then they think, do you think Trump can win suburban women? Suburban women. You know what they want? We got a lot of suburban women. You know what they want? They want peace. They want low taxes. They want good education. They don't want wars, these stupid wars that go on forever.
Mr. Elder, I know you're skeptical that he'll be able, that those folks will vote for Trump, but let's talk about how you're going to make your campaign more viable than the former president's.
Well, again, I certainly hope President Trump is right if he becomes the nominee and becomes the standard bearer of our party, again, I will back him enthusiastically. But I want to get up there on that debate stage in Milwaukee. Between now and then, by the way, I've got to get 40,000 individual donations in order to qualify for that first debate. And I'm asking people to go to elderforpresident.com, help me get up there. And once I get up there, I'm going to be talking about the things you and I have been talking about.
Yeah.
The crime, the need to get rid of these soft on crime George Soros DAs, the lie that America is systemically racist, that Joe Biden just pushed at Howard University when he said that the number one problem to the homeland was white supremacy. Are you kidding me? The crucial meltdown of urban education K through 12, and as I said earlier, the 10,000-pound elephant in the room, which is the epidemic of fatherlessness that the rest of us don't talk about. If I can get up there and say those kinds of things, Tom, game on, hold my beer.
All right. We're going to be following you as you make your progress there. Larry Elder, appreciate you being here with us today, sir. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for the time.